Well, summer has come and gone, but we head straight into fall with this special interstate edition of Live in the Sunroom. Today we're hearing from a three-piece that comes straight out of East LA. We're talking about The Commons, a band that just in a few short years has gone from playing backyard barbecues to Coachella.
You're feeling like you got it when you're out the door, so work it out. Oh, work it out.
The Commons are led by brothers David and Rene Pacheco. They're part of a growing number of artists who continue to fuse traditional Latin rhythms and song structures into new, original incarnations. Now, they got their start in 2012 and they're currently touring in support of their new record, Paleta Sonora. Now, they recently made a swing through El Paso and they returned to West Texas for the Trans-Pecos Music Festival at El Cosmico in Marfa later this week. Now, I was knocked out when I saw these guys play in Boyle Heights a few years ago, and it was my pleasure to welcome them to El Paso. The Commons performs live in the Sunroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are The Commons in El Paso, Texas, and we come from Eastwood just to deliver you this song.
Le decía que pase buenos días enfrente de la televisión. Cuando se iba se cambiaba la ropa porque ella es una Chola Surf. So that you don't wake up like a chola with no makeup and throw in high stake up. She just wants to have a party where guitars break out the body to a static state. If you don't remember that baby Prince, you said that we be from different worlds.
I'm Rene Pacheco. I play drums and interrupt the shit out of anybody.
My name is Jose Rojas, and I play bass for The Commons.
Hola, damas y caballeros. Yo soy David Pacheco from The Commons. Yo toco la guitarra y canto. Now, if you don't speak Spanish, go to your local community college and take a Spanish class and perhaps figure it out. There's subtitles on the bottom right here. Thank you very much.
You're making promises I can't keep. Let's start with a genre. I know you guys are genre bending, but let's start with something I've heard used, which is psychedelic cumbias. What does that mean? What does that mean if you want to break that down?
All right. So the reason this came about was because on Bandcamp, I have actually never told this on an interview before, but on Bandcamp, you can only list 3 genres. And so we picked psychedelic, cumbia, and punk. And, but eventually, it started off as like, we were very much influenced by like chicha music. So the guitars of the chicha, the kind of the aesthetic of it, the organs, you know. But what we found problematic was that they didn't sound too psychedelic. rock is an attitude. We don't have mohawks. We don't have like, you know, studs on our jackets, but it's very much a punk attitude in which we like to record the stuff ourselves. We like to release it ourselves, and we also like to incorporate other elements. Now the cumbia part. Cumbia for us, I mean, our parents grew up, cumbia is like a very essential element of music being from East LA. You know, you have the backyard parties, you have the bautizos, you have the birthday parties, and you always hear like, un aplauso para la quinceañera, and then, so this is something that's very like, it's very nostalgic, it's very rootsy for us, so we like to use that in a way to, when we're on tour, we also, like we like to play all sorts of music when we're on the road, like cumbias, norteños. It just makes us feel more like at peace with ourselves, because it's we're at a very interesting time right now where with technology, with everything going on, that it's easy to just kind of shift. So what we like to do is combine these three elements: psychedelic, cumbia, and punk.
Do you find it strange that young people are connecting with it as much as they are? I mean, you know, your shows are pretty young.
At first, it might have felt a little strange, but it immediately became something we could relate on, because we both seemed to, when they would see us perform, they'd have the same response that I had when I saw that this was a possibility. Because prior to ever like going to a cumbia show, I was just going to shows where people were getting together, playing indie music, just like everything that was trendy. But you know, you had your musicians and you had your party goers, and so that's all it was. And when I got to, and that's what it still is, but musically it was just something else. It wasn't anything with like that sound that I grew up with, which was either cumbias, corridos, norteños, all that good stuff. And so when I got to go to one of these shows and see that for myself, I thought, holy shit, you could combine the two. Because anytime I ever heard cumbia, I was running around, you know, at a family party as a little kid. And then seeing that be combined with the parties that I was going to, with the party goers and the musicians and, you know, everybody trying to get together and create a scene. Seeing that for the first time just hit me. It was like, holy shit, this is a bridge from the past and the present. You know, it's that nostalgic feeling, but more or less just that portal of like, you know, like this shit ain't, you know, it's not gonna stay in the past, it's coming with us. I didn't know how to play cumbia for shit when I started, but I kept going at it, asked questions to cumbialeros, fucking timbaleros, people who play congas, and that's all I'm trying to emulate on the drums. Yesterday I did get asked, like, are you playing on the this and this and that? I'm like, dude, I don't know how to answer your question. Like, you know, I was just listening. Like, I don't know how to tell you the counts.
I joined the band 2 years ago, and I knew about them before I joined the band, right? I was a fan, and it's strange. It's really hard to explain. I mean, I don't know, as other musicians out there, they ever have fantasies about going to their favorite band's concert, right? And then like, wow, our guitar player is not available. Can anybody in the crowd play guitar? And then you're like, I can. So like I had that moment with these guys when I bumped into David at school, and I noticed that they were running through a few different bass players. So I was like, here's my name, take my number. I wanna play with you guys. And he would hit me up and I would play. But the notoriety, the popularity that they had, the following, all that was very attractive to me, because as a musician, that's the one thing that I've never had. And now that I have it with Coachella and, you know, touring around and wherever I go, we're signing CDs and posters and taking photos with everyone. That really feeds to my ego and my narcissism.
Earlier, about 2 days ago, we were both in the car, and then Renee, what did you say? I was thinking something, right? I was having this thought in my head. Oh. And as I had this thought in my head, Renee spoke up. And what did you say, Renee?
I said, for the first time being on the road, it feels like home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was weird. I was feeling the same thing. I was like, holy shit, I was just thinking the exact same thing. That this is yeah, we were at home. We were comfortable. We were laid back. We didn't feel very productive at all. We just like, I mean, the home of the house is a place of rest, is a place of peace. But we like a little bit of disorder.
Yeah.
So being on the road, facing challenges and adversity every day, and especially being with family and friends, that's always cool.
And we try to prepare ourselves to avoid certain circumstances.
Yeah.
So we've learned a lot. We still have a lot to learn, and we'll continue learning. And we just won't stop.
All right, this is the acoustic version debut of this song. It's called Milk and Honey. Say, man, East LA is not the same anymore, bro.
Life never stays golden.
Together, baby, we belong together forever. Milk and honey, baby, together. Baby, we belong together forever. Like mashed potatoes, it's hot, great, and a red rat. I was riding through East LA trying to make sense to words her father said. She had an elote that got bloated and ignored it. There were two King Taco inside. Think of it just together. Baby, we belong together forever. Milk and honey, baby, together. Baby, we belong together forever. Baby, we belong together forever.
There's a wolf amongst the sheep, it's the shepherd, she souls it with the feral eyes aiming from my throat because I've spoken. Once a friend, now the enemy, because I bleed all over the white pants they put in front of me. I've got 50 friends floating in a sea of jealousy, blue to green from the greed over money. They need to feed the family in a global war stemming from local animosity. Booyah, booyah,
Baby, we belong together forever. Like milk and honey, baby, together. Baby, we belong together forever. Like milk and honey, baby, together. Baby, we belong together forever. Like milk and honey, baby, together. Baby, we belong together forever. Like milk and honey, baby, forever. $1,000,001 roses. None of which are for